Hello my friends and welcome back to another Brotato Danger 5 Paws and Claws run. Hope you're all doing well. Today we're playing the Renegade, which is a character that's awesome with the new pets of course, because the extra projectiles that you get from the Renegade works with the cats and the bots to make those 3 times as powerful as they normally would be. I'm just gonna random my weapon here. I think that the Renegade can win with pretty much anything, so let's just grab a random weapon. Shuriken is always going to be a really fun time, so we'll go ahead and pick that up. The funny thing about Shuriken on the Renegade is that we're going to be building melee damage, so we won't be scaling the cat if we happen to get one, but it will let us maybe build the Bonk Dog if we see one of those. So it's going to be an interesting setup for this character. Here, I'm going to reroll. I'm, of course, looking for harvesting, and we'll take 5 harvesting, and then we'll buy a shuriken. On the Renegade, you want to buy every unique level 1 item that you see. So we're going to be buying even stuff that normally would look pretty bad. And the great thing about that is you can buy an item, get the 10%, which becomes 2% thanks to your damage multiplier reduction. Get the 10% bonus damage, and then ban future copies of that item so that you don't have a bad shop later on. I'll lock Lemonade, though. It's just a really strong item, and we'll buy the shuriken, and then roll, buy another shuriken, and then roll, and we'll lock another shuriken. All these other items I'm not locking because I would lock good economy items or really powerful items like Lemonade or weird food, stuff like that. But items like Hedgehog that are just worth some melee damage, we'll be able to pick up plenty of later on. We definitely want to level our shurikens so that we get the maximum amount of bounces as quickly as possible, and also get the precise weapon tag online as fast as possible. Coffee, this is maybe the single best thing we could have found. Maybe fertilizer would be better, but extra attack speed and we get additional percentage damage to level 1 item we don't have yet is amazing. Roll here and we'll take 5 harvesting. We'll buy a shuriken. We'll roll, buy another shuriken. Roll again, and lock a shuriken, and go straight to the next wave. Usually I'll have 2 non-weapon items locked at the end of shop 2, because usually we find 2 things that we want. In this case, we didn't find 2 things good enough to lock, so slightly unlucky there. But we found a bunch of shurikens, so we're going to be able to level our weapons early. And as a precise weapon, shuriken is you're not guaranteed to find more copies of it or anything like that. So finding extra shurikens is really nice. We'll take 5 harvesting here, and then 10% attack speed. That's great. We'll take that, of course. We'll upgrade to our 7th copy of shuriken. We'll buy a lemonade and a scar, and this increases our percent damage as well. And then we'll reroll. Now we'll take the hedgehog. And even though feather is minimally impactful for us, on the Renegade, you want to buy every single level 1 item that you don't have yet, with very few exceptions. So we're going to buy the feather just for the 2% damage here. When your damage is this negative, the most important thing is increasing it. So we're always going to buy these unique level 1 items that will give us 2% damage. In Brotato, the lower a number is, typically the more impactful it is to increase it. So because the Renegade has such heavily negative percentage damage at the start of the game, it is incredibly important to increase that damage. I could have gone after the other curse alien, but since there was a loot alien, I prioritized killing that, and then we'll take a corrupted shard. That's another awesome find. Here, I could take 4 melee damage. Our base damage, of course, needs to increase. We could roll for harvesting, which would get us up to over 21 harvesting right away. But let's just take the 4 melee damage, I think. And then, okay, well, we got 10 harvesting, so even better. We'll buy these 2 level 1 items that we don't have yet. We'll roll again. And this is 3 more level 1 items that we don't have, and another shuriken that we can lock. So basically an ideal shop for us. Killing the curse alien there. The Renegade is a character that I think is extremely powerful, but that does give a lot of people trouble. And I think that the reason sometimes people have trouble with this character is they're just not buying every level 1 item that they see, and are therefore falling behind in damage. You really have to increase your damage when you're playing this character. Here, I could take 8% damage, but it's more efficient to get this from buying unique level 1 items. Now, it can still be correct to pick up percentage damage from other sources as well, but I think I'm just going to grab 1 armor. With no armor currently, I definitely want to fix that. We'll be able to pick up some HP here, and then a few more unique level 1 items. We'll grab a shuriken. And I can't buy the cute monkey here right away, which would be nice because it would give me a way to heal from the weird ghost. So I do have to be a little careful this wave because we don't have any easy way to heal currently. No lifesteal or regeneration. Cute monkey will definitely buy. Mutation is worth 2% damage. Now this is a pretty weak level 1 item, so I think I will roll past that because there's much better stuff that we could find here. And we'll take a coupon, a baby gecko, and a shuriken. Very happy to lock those as well. So we're hoping to get some consumable drops that we can heal up from, so that if I walk into an enemy attack, I don't die immediately. But I'm fairly confident I can avoid taking a hit on Wave 6, even if we don't get the heal. Wave 6 does have the slashers, and it has the pufferfish, which can be a little dangerous, especially with a shuriken build. But you just have to avoid killing them when you're too close to them and can't walk away from the attacks easily. Make my way over here and get that loot alien killed. I'm moving around to be careful of the pufferfish. The fact that we didn't get a single consumable drop for that entire wave, except for the guaranteed one and the one we got right at the end, did mean I left a lot of materials on the ground. That's pretty unusual. So we did get a little unlucky there, but that's fine. We'll take the small fish here, and then I'll pick up some more crit chance. Harvesting would be nice as well, but of course we're playing a shuriken build, so we want to build critical hit so that they bounce more frequently. We'll then buy everything in the shop here. I'll re-roll, buy another shuriken. We're also getting really lucky finding more shurikens, which is great. Cyberball, we will pass on. We want to do damage with our weapons. And here's the Gatling gun, so we're definitely going to buy that, and we'll buy a claw tree as well. Energy bracelet. I could lock it and get a free reroll. We haven't used any of our bans yet, so we'll buy the other 3 items and then ban energy bracelet. It does have some critical hit attached to it, and the minus range damage isn't a big deal, but it's just not an item that we care about that much, and since we haven't used any of our bans yet, I do want to start getting value out of those. I definitely need some more movement speed. I've reduced it, so we're moving quite slowly, and that is decreasing our ability to clear these waves efficiently. So that's something that I'm looking for. Gonna run over here and get this tree kill. Nice, we got a crate as well. Baby squid, awesome. We definitely need healing, so baby squid's a great way to get it. Glasses, we will happily take. Range is actually not bad on shurikens. They do count as ranged weapons, so even though they scale with melee damage, they benefit from the full value of range instead of half, like other melee weapons. And the other thing that works about it is that they bounce to enemies. You can start the bounces from further away, so you're going to get more attacks. But mostly, of course, we're buying that because it increases our percent damage. Here, I am just going to take 15 attack speed. My attack speed is really poor, so I could roll for movement speed is probably the stat we need the most. But I'm most interested in boosting my damage output at this point. We'll go ahead and ban Energy Bracelet here, and then take a reroll. We'll definitely buy a Whistle and a Whetstone. 4% lifesteal is really nice. And Whistle is, again, another unique level 1 item. Alright. So you can see our cat is firing 3 bullets at once. And has the extra piercing shots. So even though we're not scaling its ranged damage, the cat is still pretty powerful. It also works well with our shuriken build. Not in that the damage type works well, because it doesn't, but because shurikens deal a bunch of damage spread around the map, the cat is also going to often be able to kill stuff that has taken hits and can reduce enemy health so that our shurikens will be able to actually finish it off. Increased enemy spawns, definitely something I'm interested in finding. Obviously, really powerful critical items like Hunting Trophy or Tentacle would be very happy with. But overall, I'd say that this run is going very well. I will take the Triangle of Power. It's only 4% damage, but 4% is a lot of damage still, even when our damage is this negative, and the armor is good. And the penalty on this is extremely minimal because it is reduced by our percent damage multiplier. Then we'll take 2 armor. All right, we'll buy, I think, let's see, do I want the compass? The thing about buying compass here is it reduces my crit chance, but I do need the movement speed. I think what I'm going to do, though, is I'll ban compass, because I don't want to lose crit chance. This gets me 2 free rerolls, which is pretty nice. So we'll buy the coupon here, and then roll again, and then, do I want the lens or the shuriken first? I guess I'll upgrade my shurikens and lock lens. Lens, of course, is another unique level 1 item, and the +1 ranged damage works with our now 2 cats pretty well. We'll take the weird food here, and small magazine, I actually really want to increase my attack speed, and I don't mind buying ranged damage that much when we have double cat as well. So we will buy small magazine. It comes with a minor percent damage penalty, reduced by being the Renegade, which does matter, of course, but it's an efficient enough item that sometimes you buy it even when you have nothing that scales with ranged damage, if you need the attack speed, which we do. And we now have 2 pets that scale with ranged damage, so we're even less unhappy to be buying that off damage type. Gonna drink some coffee. I would love a loot worm. I'd actually be pretty happy with bonk dogs, because we want to build up our melee damage. Mostly I need just movement speed, though. Regeneration is taking care of itself a little bit, because I have a baby squid, but some more regen would also be very helpful as well. Take the cake here. We're very happy with that, of course. And let's take 15 luck. 3% lifesteal would also be nice. It works very well, of course, with shurikens, but having 0 luck, I typically don't like. I want to find higher level ups. Blazemander, this one doesn't do that much for us, because it doesn't have projectiles, I don't think. I guess it does shoot the really short-range projectiles. I'm actually curious how it works with the Renegade, so I'll buy the Blazemander. We'll keep an eye on it and see if it's shooting more projectiles than it normally would. I'll buy the metal detector here and lock the toxic sludge. At this point in the game, we're going to buy every level 1 item that we don't have. And I'll lock a shuriken, defective steroids, and weird food. Really awesome shop for us, just a bunch of stuff that we want. Weird food, of course, is a level 1 item we do already have, but it's an incredibly powerful one, so we're still going to buy it. Alright, the cats won't kill the trees for us. So, yeah, I guess the Blazemander, it's hard to tell if it's benefiting from the Renegade passive. I think it is. I think normally it shoots 3 projectiles, and it's shooting 5. So that's kind of a cool synergy as well. I still don't think it's going to be hyper impactful for this run, and probably we could have spent that 76 materials on something better, but this is a powerful enough character that I wanted to do some science and figure out whether everything works with the passive here. And if you were doing an elemental Renegade build, then the fact that it works with the Blazemanders is actually very relevant. Here, I'll take 15 more luck, and then... So I've got 7 armor, 35 HP. I do need more health, but that will kind of come with time. Do I need to roll for movement speed, or can I get away with taking crit chance here? I think, unfortunately, I do need to roll for movement speed. -5 movement speed is just so difficult to play. And so I do need to make the game easier on myself. Okay, really nice finds here as well. Let's definitely buy Candy Bag first. We'll buy Shuriken and Cake. So we'll save the eye patch to buy later. And then I'll re-roll, and then there's the Bonk Dog that we talked about. So I guess what I'm going to do here is buy this, lock the Bonk Dog. Fuel tank I don't need. I'll re-roll one more time, and we'll lock a metal detector as well. We should be strong enough that I'm not that concerned about an elite spawning, but I do need to be careful of that because we have Candy Bag. One nice thing about this run in particular, too, is that the extra Candy Bag stats, because we have a Blazemander and 2 cats, we don't really care if the Candy Bag rolls like a damage type that we normally wouldn't be using. So there are really not that many dead rolls for us on the Candy Bag, so we should be getting very relevant value from it the whole game. And we got it very early as well. Rolling percent damage isn't great on the Candy Bag, of course, but it'll add up over time, just like all the other minimal sources of percent damage that we're picking up. Even though we only get 0.2. Oh, another loot alien? Amazing. Whistle really worth its weight in gold this run. Or materials, I guess. We'll take the lifesteal here, of course, and another gentle alien. That's great. Fishhook, awesome. Do I want max HP? There's actually not that many stats that I specifically need to roll for. My healing is pretty bad, so I think I'm just going to take 2 lifesteal here. Then we will buy all of these items. Sadly, we rolled a weapon, so I can't ban something for a free reroll. Coil is interesting. So that will give us only 3 knockback, because we currently have negative knockback. But I think it's still worth buying, so I'm going to pick up the coil here. I'll lock the weird food. Incendiary turret I don't care about. Sniper gun, not really what we're doing in this run. We do have positive range, so I could go with that, and it is a precise weapon. You know what, let's have fun with it. We'll buy the sniper gun here. Plus, we are going to get... Oh, we did get a Candy Bag Elite on a Horde wave, which is obviously slightly scary, but our damage should be more than enough to take it down while clearing the Horde. And the great thing about using Shuriken as our weapon is we can bounce the attacks off the Elite and clear the rest of the enemies while we're attacking the Elite. When you can, you want to stay really close to this Elite and run around it in circles like that, and then it will always fire the projectiles past where you are, as long as you have sufficient movement speed. So that's the easiest way to fight that Elite, if you have enough movement speed and enough wave clear that you're not running into other enemies while you're doing that. The fact that we are going to be buying Crit Chance as well works with all the pets that we have. We definitely don't want the Torture here. Our healing's going to be way more than 5 health per second later on, so we'll just recycle that. And then I'm going to pick up some more movement speed. I'll take 7 Crit Chance. That's perfect. And then... So Feather, this is an item that we can now just ban because we don't need the ranged damage, and we already have a copy of Feather. We're not building Dodge in this run anyways. So we'll ban that. Buy the sniper gun. I guess I'll buy the laser turret as well. The Renegade's passive does work with turrets. This will give us a free reroll, and the damage on that is pretty reasonable. Crystal is amazing for us. We already want to avoid taking hits because we are building, we have a Triangle of Power, and the extra attack speed is awesome. Charcoal is exactly what we want, more percentage damage and more melee damage. Ghost Outfit and Gambling Token, we're going to pass on both of those. I'll take a Goat Skull, even though it costs me Crit Chance. It's a unique level 1 item, and gives us melee damage, which we need. And then Warrior Helmet. We'll need to keep increasing our move speed at some point, but this is exactly what we want. Extra health and armor. Exactly what we need for this character. One thing I need to keep in mind as well is that because we have the sniper gun, range is now a much more relevant stat for us than it usually is. So we'll be buying that when we see it. We would rather scale the sniper gun with ranged damage than with range than with ranged damage. Because the scaling is better given the amount that you buy range in, and it also will have an effect on our other weapons. Here, yeah, we'll take another crystal. We're thrilled with that, and then more crit chance is perfect. Warrior helmet, an amazing thing to curse, because not only do we love increasing the positive stats, because it's got 2 of some of the best stats in the game, we also really like decreasing the negative stats, because losing movement speed is a pretty severe penalty. We'll go ahead and buy the fresh meat here. That's an awesome find. Alien Eyes does give you extra projectiles. Our max HP is okay. Let's... no, I don't think we need that. I'll lock the tractor, though. This, if it gets cursed, is pretty good. I'm going to pass on these other 2. I think we can do better. So given that I have the sniper gun, is it worth buying the glasses here, even though we already have a copy? I guess it scales plus 4 damage on the base damage and plus 2 damage on all of the extra projectiles, so I think it is worth it just for our 1 weapon here. And then we'll lock both of these. I'll also reroll. We have a fish hook, so I want to lock more stuff. Okay, well, more glasses. Without the sniper gun, of course, I would have banned the glasses there, and we would have gotten 2 other items. So the question is it worth buying 2 of a pretty weak item just for the 1 weapon? And, you know, having that item show up again, not using our bans. And I think the answer is yes, but it's pretty close. Definitely need to increase my damage output. You've seen I've taken a couple hits here because I'm not clearing the waves quite as quickly as I would like. So I just need some more percentage damage, of course, always what you want on Renegade. And more melee damage, because increasing the base damage of our shurikens is one of the easiest ways at this point to actually increase our clear speed. Haven't found a tentacle or a... I'll just take 3 armor here. I haven't found a tentacle or a hunting trophy, and of course hunting trophy would be awesome, so a little disappointed there. Cursed Tractor, that's great. That's going to help fix our economy. We were struggling a little bit to make money. I'm also going to leave the Wandering Bot locked 1 more round, because Cursed Wandering Bot gives you increased movement speed. That's why I locked it, was because if we curse it, it's actually pretty nice for us. We'll lock the Mushroom here and reroll. I'll lock a Wheelbarrow, and I guess I'll lock White Flag. We'll just ban this. If it does eat the Fishhook curse, then we'll still probably ban it, because we need more enemies on the field, but we'll be sad if it does. But since we're buying the other 3 things, we usually just want to lock that so we can ban something and get an extra free reroll. I should check the damage on my sniper gun and see how it's performing relative to the shurikens. I suspect it's outperforming them pretty significantly. We've bought a lot of range to increase its damage, and it just fires a lot of projectiles at once, but it would be interesting to know whether that's actually the case for sure. Oh no, my crystal bonus right at the end. Yeah, I do still want more lifesteal, so we'll take the bat here, and then I'm going to re-roll this, and I'll take 9 movement speed. Okay, the Wandering Bot did get cursed, so I'll buy that. I was hoping the Wheelbarrow got cursed. Maybe I shouldn't have locked it, given that it's not great when it doesn't get cursed here. So I could just ban both of these and get our free reroll. But yeah, I guess that's probably right. We should just ban both of these items. So maybe I shouldn't have locked either of those. I wasn't really paying attention to the wave number when I locked Wheelbarrow. You know, a problem I sometimes have. I'll take the Mushroom here, and then we'll roll again. And Boxing Glove, that's great, because we also have a Coil. So that's going to increase our percent damage even slightly more than it looks like. I'll ban a Small Fish. We already have one. We don't need a second Small Fish here. We'll buy a Shuriken. And Rip and Tear does cost us crit chance, but it's pretty good given the setup that we have. We're building melee damage, so we'll buy the Rip and Tear. Dynamite will increase the damage on the Rip and Tear, which is nice. I'm going to buy the Peacock here, because I don't want to buy it going into the Elite Wave, and I do want it. It'll help us get to level 25, and then we'll just lock these other items. We're keeping the Tardigrade locked, because we have Triangle of Power and Crystal. So Tardigrade is usually not an efficient defensive item, but when you have those items, can be quite good, just to protect the bonuses from the crystals, mostly. Obviously, losing, what is it, 0.4 of our percent damage when we get hit by something while we have Triangle of Power is not that big a deal, but losing the crystal bonus is a big deal, so having Tardigrade to prevent that can be very, very helpful. It does look like our cats are actually doing pretty good damage, even when I'm not going out of my way to give them the attack speed buff. So definitely fun to be using Renegade with these. We'll take the Shady Potion here. I'll take 15 more luck. I think that's fine. I'm going to reroll this and get a level 2 upgrade. We'll take 2 more armor. And this is great. The Cursed Tardigrade is actually awesome as well. And then we get even more armor, more HP. We'll roll. Take a Shuriken here and combine, get another one, buy a Cake. I still want more max HP. Level our Shurikens. Tyler does get extra projectiles, but that matters a lot less for this structure because it normally shoots 10, so it's just going up to 12. It's not that big an increase. So I'm going to skip on these two, but we'll take the Cauldron. Sharp Bullet you rarely want when you're playing the Renegade because it decreases your damage per pierce, and we already have additional piercing on all of our weapons, so you usually don't want to buy Sharp Bullet here. For that reason, I'm going to ban the Sharp Bullet. I will lock the Minigun, and I'll lock Mirror. If we get a Curse Mirror, that could be fun. Minigun I'm just going to buy because it's a fun weapon you don't get to see used that often, and we've actually built quite a bit of ranged damage, given that we weren't building ranged damage this run. So the Minigun will do pretty well. And a roll here again. You know what, let's go for a more eclectic weapon set, and we'll lock the Blunderbuss. I'm also locking Missile in case we get it cursed. I won't buy it if it doesn't get cursed. Lost one tardigrade bonus already, but I'll be able to take one more hit before I lose my crystal bonus. And as long as I don't lose it while the elite is still at really high health, so, you know, I lost it near the end there, but we were able to use our crystal bonus for most of the lifespan of the elite, which, of course, made it very easy to kill it. By the way, switching our weapons like this, picking up Blunderbuss and Minigun and stuff like that, is just for fun. You don't need to do this, and in fact, spending a bunch of money on switching weapons in the late game is often incorrect, because it's going to typically not increase your damage output by as much as buying a good item that would give you offensive or defensive stats, and is going to cost a lot of money. We'll take the attack speed here, and then I do think I need the melee damage, because my shurikens are starting to fall behind. So even though I'm going to sell a couple shurikens, I do want to increase those. Let's go ahead and recycle by the minigun and recycle by the blunderbuss. I will then unlock the missile and reroll here. Toxic Sludge I can just ban. That's a level 1 item we don't want that we already have a copy of. And we'll roll. Okay, yeah, Nuke Launcher, definitely. And what else do I want here? Do I want the Starfish? I'll buy it just for fun. I don't think that the Starfish is particularly powerful here, but it is just a fun item to have. And we're going to end this run with a very weird weapon set. So I'm now, because we found that nuclear launcher, regretting taking the 8 melee damage there a little bit. We are going to be selling out of a lot of our shurikens. Blunderbuss, by the way, is a really good weapon for the Renegade when you have one of them, because it's going to reset really frequently, and it's super high damage at base. So when you are tripling the projectiles that you're firing with it, it's going to make killing elites really, really fast. So just a very strong weapon to pick up one of on the Renegade. More so for builds that have been building more ranged damage than we have, but typically just very good overall. The Renegade also can more easily support these forays into different types of weapons because when you're playing this character, you're going to be buying random level 1 items, so you're often going to end up with off damage types. I'll mirror the Starfish here and buy the Penguin, and we should still make enough money that we can buy the Nuke Launcher, but I'll save some. I could lock the Shuriken and try to curse it, but I think I'm just going to reroll once here. And I'll lock Corrupted Shard, and I'm just going to save the rest of my money to make sure we can buy the Nuke Launcher for the end game. We should make way more than 500 materials this wave with double Starfish, but I just want to be safe, because it would be really disappointing not to be able to afford the nuclear launcher. Renegade is amazing with explosive weapons because you fire multiple projectiles, and they're usually going to layer the damage all on top of the same enemies because they'll all explode, and if the enemy is in all the explosions, it's going to take hits from each of them. And with piercing shots, it will double up on the damage even further, so the one nuclear launcher firing can often hit a single enemy with 6 explosions when you're playing the Renegade. Even more because we have extra piercing shots from our eye patch as well. Yeah, we'll take the riposte. It's just 2 melee damage, which we do want. We'll take the boxing glove. I'll roll here, and it's like 45 range and then 9 crit chance. And nice, we got the nuke launcher cursed, so I'll recycle the shuriken. Oh yeah, let me check the damage of my weapons here. So 24k on the blunderbuss, only 7k on the minigun. Really interesting there. I guess the base damage is somewhat low, and its range might be lower than our other weapons. No, it has higher range. Interesting. But the bouncing shots are clearing things out faster. The sniper gun, 1600, and the shurikens all in the 20k range. So, interesting that the shurikens are so heavily outperforming these two. We built a lot of range for our sniper gun. But I guess I'll still recycle a shuriken here. And then I'll roll. And roll again. I don't need that blunderbuss. I'll just take some more regeneration, and I could pick up some engineering. It does not... Right, nuke launcher doesn't scale with engineering. It's elemental and ranged. I could take the campfire. It's not bad, just some more healing and some more elemental damage. And then we'll take a loot worm and a Catling gun just to round out our pet battalion before the end of the game. Curse level 1 shuriken would be kind of nice. It's not as good as the level 4 shurikens, but it would get there if we had found it earlier. And let's go to the end game. I anticipate that I'm going to get some questions about the Torpor that we passed on, because a lot of people really like that item. I am not a fan of that item. I think that it introduces a failure case to your run that simply doesn't need to be there. This run is always going to win if we just build normal healing. But if we take the Torture and then take 2 or 3 hits in a row, we die. But as you can see here, I can just like take hits and instantly heal back to full in ways that is not possible if we had taken the Torture. So you just give yourself a way to lose unlosable runs by buying that item, and I generally recommend that for 20 wave runs, you should almost always avoid it. Because there are not that many runs where it's enough healing to heal you back to full after taking a hit. And there's a lot of runs where it reduces your healing and makes it possible to lose otherwise unlosable runs. All right, let's look at our items and weapons here. So we did really well. We actually didn't hit positive % damage, somewhat rare for the Renegade, but I guess I spent a lot of money on kind of goofy items like these cats. Our coupons saved us 650. We got 18 regeneration from Baby Squid. We got 63,000 damage from the Catling guns. So given that we bought 3 of them, they were not incredibly impressive, but they still contributed, especially in the mid-game. The Blazemander for 7k damage, yeah, obviously we knew that this wasn't really going to be a big bonus for us, but it was fun to see that it does work with the Renegade. 177 save from Dangerous Bunny, plus a bunch by virtue of making other rerolls cheaper. By the way, I think that the stat tracking for Dangerous Bunny should be fixed. It would be very easy to have it count the price of your next reroll instead of the discount on your first reroll. And then it would track, it wouldn't be perfect, but it would track way better how much it actually saves you. 10 waves with Candy Bag is a ton of random stats, which is great. 420 Blaze It from the metal detectors, right next to the Blazemander, actually. That's kind of funny. Our fishhook was quite good. We actually got a few good cursed items from the fishhook, so, you know, I usually complain about this item, but it did its job this time. 20k damage from the laser turret, always good on the Renegade, so it performed very well. Rip and Tear did very badly and reduced my crit chance, so definitely was not worth buying in this run. And what else? 12k damage from the explosive turret that we got right at the end. Also, we picked up 12 extra materials from the loot worm, even though we only had it for the last wave. This loot worm was working overtime. Alright, my friends, I hope you've enjoyed this run, and I hope that you have fun if you try this yourself. I really recommend Renegade with the pets. It's a lot of fun, and it's just one of the most fun characters in the game. Renegade Shuriken is one of my favorite runs overall. As always, of course, if you've enjoyed the video, then feel free to leave a comment and hit like. Helps me out with the algorithm, so I appreciate you taking the time to do that. And of course, you can subscribe to my channel for more Brotato and other strategy game analysis. Cheers, folks. I'll catch you next time.